who was the timekeeper. And I, in addition to being who was the timekeeper, I was privileged to be a member of the board commission. And I thought that what I would do in a very few minutes is offer some reflections about the committee's work and what it got me to think about. I think that on a very personal level, I got a chance to know just a little bit better Professor Edwards and got a chance to see how a great mind works with lots of other great minds present in the sector. That I got to see how he did the great work of the commission with a deft hand, with grace, and allowing our executive council and the committee at large to do the work with an exceeding amount of joy. So so my big benefit was to work with that board on hard problems and to think about that. I probably got a chance to hang out more with my good colleague Eva Baker there in the commission because I moved here in California. And the commission in general had just some extraordinary minds who were willing to give up their insights freely to help us think about different issues. But so when I thought back on the commission's work and reviewed its projects, it put me in the mind of blueprints and North Stars. A blueprint is a technical document of the system of delivering a vision. So I think the Common Core, for example, aspires to be a blueprint, a guide to specification of things like curriculum assessment. Whereas a North Star is a guiding light toward a goal to help form a vision forward. And I think that while the committee's work was some parts of each, for me, mostly what it has turned out to be is a reflection on what a North Star or set of them might be for how to think about assessment's role in education. Now, this metaphor of North Star thinking is something that I stole from a guy named Mike Rother, who wrote a book called Toyota Kata. And what this book really is a sort of one of these businessy books, because he's a management professor, about how Toyota became the most effective manufacturing organization in the world. And in part, it did so because of what he refers to as North Star thinking. And they have a North Star, which loosely speaking is they want to have manufacturing processes that allow you to take some material, part, that you need in manufacturing and use it, have it be available almost at the moment it's needed in the manufacturing process. So their goal is to essentially drive things like parts inventory to zero. Now, of course, they've not gotten there, and it may be impossible to have what they call one-to-one management in that way. But the thing that it does as a North Star for them is it colors every decision that they make about how to run the company. It shapes the blueprint. So when thinking about the commission's work, I kind of began to think about how does it put us, commission members, and the rest of us in the mind of the North Star. A North Star is a sort of a specific encapsulation of assessment's role in our aspirations for broad-based engagement in civic life and productive citizenship for all. So something like that would shape the North Star. I think maybe the Commission's most important outcome, which we've not talked a lot about today, is engaging a diverse set of stakeholders, policymakers, technical people, the general citizenry, parents, school board members, in conversations about assessment. Because normally, folks like many of the folks in this room, we have conversations about assessment technically, cognitively, policy level, that really is a lot of conversation of us talking to us. And I think one of the Commission's great accomplishments has been to speak plainly about assessment, to get other people in the conversation. And among the things that Professor Gordon didn't talk about are his travels around the country that help people, not just people in the academy, understand the Commission's work. So a big part of, I think a big outcome of the Commission's work has been conversations among diverse stakeholders. So North Star should integrate, help us interrogate how assessment can illuminate what it means to be an educated person in a changing world, something I've heard Professor Wood say a lot over the years. So just a moment about candidate North Star. So a candidate equity and fairness North Star. So I can't imagine a conversation in our country about assessment and about education that doesn't enjoin equity and fairness. Well, I think that the Commission's work and its recommendations help us interrogate what a North Star might look like in new ways. One of the committee's first recommendations is first do no harm. And if you sort of step back and think about that for a second, in the world of assessment, that's more than a notion. I mean, our colleague on the Commission, Andrew Ho, talked in his paper about the sort of purpose creep. And purpose creep has literally killed the dreams of many, many students, where we take the thing that was designed for one purpose, put it to another purpose for which it is suboptimal, and make decisions about people's lives given it. So the call in the Commission's work for assessment for education to first do no harm is, like I said, more than notions. Second, the Commission, among many things it said, called for us to pay more attention to cultural identity, agency, and disposition. These things matter. Content, the assessment of content knowledge, couldn't exist absent these. So assessment should be disciplined by these. I mean, I think in part, Ed Hartle's comments focused on this, that we need to be thinking about ways to gain access to assessment for education that's sort of really disciplined by the deep aspects of people's lives. Assessment should be, the Commission's work encourages us to see assessment not as a singular event, but assessment embedded in ongoing teaching and learning systems. Now, technology makes it possible to relax the constraints of space and time, but the technology should be part of the way we think about our guiding blueprints for our work. But everyone in this room understands that we have been capable of doing incredibly silly things with technology that have done some damage to learners. So without a North Star that guides our design and blueprint creation, no doubt we will do it again. We may very well create the next digital life embedded assessment package. Mark my words, you heard it here first. Someone will advertise that thing. So we need North Stars to discipline blueprints. So I think the commission provides us grist for our future. The commission's products and activities help us see that North Stars are important. The contributions of the committee, policy statements, and technical reports give us grist as a people, not just academics, but policymakers and parents and others, to deliberate what our North Stars should be. So I think if we have them in place, we do far less harm. And so if I think we take this idea of North Star thinking more seriously and have a North Star in place, we can do the thing that Professor Gordon said in his opening remarks. We can put assessment in its proper place as a handmaiden to learning. So in closing, I think while Eva is correct that this is sort of the last public event of the commission's work, I think we all have a responsibility to the commission and its work, and that responsibility is stewardship. And stewardship to what? Stewardship to help us as a field to really deliberate in ways that the commission has started our North Stars for assessment for education.